Okay, so if you are watching this video, it means that you have now created the sprite for your maze game, as well as creating the background for your maze game as well. So if you're watching this video, well done to you. Now, in this video, we are going to create the scratch code for our maze game in order for our maze to be able to work like a maze game. So, just like over here, if we click on this at the start, you can see here, you're going to aim to do something like this through creating scratch code of your very own. So, let's get started. First of all, you will need to go onto the Scratch website, and once you're on the Scratch website, you will then need to sign in if you've not signed in already. So click on sign in, username, password, then click sign in, and you should be brought to the home page of your Scratch account. Now then, from here, to access your maze game from last lesson, you'll need to click on the arrow over here which has your username and your profile picture, and then click on My Stuff. Now, if you were able to save your maze game successfully from the last lesson, then it should appear here with your sprite and your background. To access your maze game, you either click See Inside, or you can click the name of your maze game. Now, when you're brought to the page here, to be able to create the scratch code for your maze game, you'll then need to click on See Inside. And you'll be brought to your page here where you have your sprite and you have your background from last lesson. So let's get started with creating the scratch code for your maze game. Now, first of all, you need a start point for your maze game so that if you click the green flag over here, it starts the game all over again if you need to. So in order to do this, you need to go over here, make sure the code tab is clicked here and you're not on something else. Click the code tab, and all of these should be here. Now, these are your blocks, and blocks create a variety of different instructions for your maze game, and they all have different purposes, and these different purposes of your blocks are shown through their color. Now, let's get going with creating the start point for your game. So, click onto Events, and then drag this block over here, and drop. You can put it anywhere on screen, it doesn't matter. Then, you need to tell your sprite what direction it needs to point at the start when this is pressed. So, click on Motion, then go to Point in Direction, and move it there. It needs to be connected to the block, otherwise it won't work properly otherwise, just like a jigsaw. And then, if you click on this number over here, you can actually change where it's pointing to. So for now, I'm going to keep my sprite pointing in that direction. So you now need to tell the sprite that when this button is clicked, you need to tell it where it needs to go, where is the start point. And you'll need to move this block over here. But first of all, watch the numbers very carefully on there when I move the sprite. The numbers have changed. And then if I move the sprite again, the numbers have changed again. So before moving this block, you need to move the sprite over here like that to tell the sprite that that's where it needs to go at the start. And then you can drag the block and you can place it there. And so hopefully, if it works, you click the green flag and it moves there. Now then, what we need to do now is to be able to create the scratch code for it to be able to move in the direction that we want it to move in. Now, for the sake of easiness, I'm going to use the arrow buttons on the keyboard to be able to make it move. So, in order to do this, you're going to click on this block here which says when space key press, and pull it over there. And then I'm going to control how it moves up using the up arrow. So I've clicked up, and then go to Motion, and then go to Change Y by 10. And drag it and connect. Then I'm going to go back to Events. I'm going to move this over like this. I'm then going to click this, and click on the left arrow to create the scratch code for it to be able to move to the left. Then going to go back onto Motion, and then I'm going to go on to Change X by 10. But I need to change this number now. So click on the number and just type -10 to be able to, for it to move to the left. Then I'm going to go back onto events. I'm going to click on this block there. I'm going to change this to the right to control how to move it to the right. And then I'm going to go on to change X by 10 and move it there. And I'm going to leave that like that. Finally, I want to control how it moves down. So to do that, go onto events again, pull the same block down, change this to down, and then go back onto motion, and then find the one that says change Y by 10. But this time, change the number to -10, -10. And then you've created the scratch code to be able to move your sprite in the direction that you want it to move. So if I press down, hopefully it should move down. If I press right, hopefully it should move right. Now at the moment, as you can see, it's not much of a maze game at the moment because this guy can suddenly somehow walk through walls and he is able to get to the end very easily. So we need to create a bit of a challenge for our maze game. So in order to do that, you need to create some scratch code to tell your game that if the sprite touches the walls, it needs to go somewhere or do something. So in my game, what we're going to do is we are going to create some scratch code so that when it touches the walls, it has to go back to the start. I know, very, very, very cool. But there we go. I want my games to be very challenging. So in order to do this, what you need to do is you need to go back to events, pull the when green flag clicked, then go to control, and then find the block that says forever, and drag, and place it there. Then what you'll need to do is you'll need to find the one that says if gap then. Don't choose this one that's got else, just this one. And then you can drag that and place it in the middle, like that. Once you've done that, you then need to go to sensing, and you need to pull the one that says touching color ? And you need to drag it and place it. Now at the moment, if I try and place it there, it's just going to sit on top. You need to wait until it's highlighted in white on the outside like that, and then drop, and it should be able to put it in like that. Now, at the moment, that's not the color of our walls. So to change the color of this, you need to click on the color, go to the bottom here, click on that, and then go over to your maze game. And you need to make sure the whole circle is colored, filled with that color. Click. And then that color is matching the colors of your wall. Finally, I now need to put the instruction in that when it touches the walls, it goes all the way back to the start. So in order to do that, go back onto motion, and then go to this one, go to X, minus those numbers there. But at the moment, I want it to go back there. So make sure once again that you've moved the sprite back to the start before you drag this over. And then place it there like that. And then hopefully, let's have a look now. So if we click, you can always test your game as you go along. And if you want to see it really big on the screen, you can click this. Make sure you press the start at the start. That's it. Press that green button to start the game from the start. You can click on this to test it. You can go down. He's looking down. He's moving down, should I say, to the right. Now, what happens if he touches the wall? He goes back to the start. So get used to testing your code as you go along. And then if you need to make changes, then do so. But keep testing it and make sure you press the green flag before you try it out. Now, finally, as you can see, if I move this out of the way, you can see that there's a green circle here. This marks the finish line. Now, we want to praise whoever's playing our game, saying, well done for getting to the finish line. So, in order to do this, what you need to do is go onto events, drag this block over here, then click on, if we move this up again, we go on to Control, click forever, and drag like that. Then go to if, not the big one, but the small one, if gap then, pull it, and place it in the middle like that. Very similar to over here. And then you need to go on to Scenting again, Touch and Color again, drag over, make sure the right outline is on that shape before dropping it. Now that color doesn't match this color. So to change it, click on the color again, click on this over here, and then pull it over and click. Now finally, you want the message so that when it touches this color, there's a message that appears. So we're going to go into a whole new block now. Now, if you were able to figure out which one it is beforehand, fantastic. It's not sound, it is looks. So choose this one over here, which says say hello for now. I'm going to pull that one, and I'm going to put it in the gap just here. Now, at the moment, I don't want it to say hello, because I want it to congratulate the person who's got to the end. So I'm going to say, well done, you did it. And then, now then, let's test to see if that works. So make sure you click the green flag at the start to mark the start of the game. I like, for some reason, it's just my personal preference, I like to see it in full screen mode. So, let's try. You go down. Hopefully Mr. Cook will be very good at this game. He'll be able to get all the way around. Seems to be pretty good at the moment. I'm doing pretty well. And then hopefully when I get to the green mark, you've got the message and you've reached the end of your maze game. And that, guys, is level 1 of our maze game, and you have now successfully created some scratch code for your maze game. Well done, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.